Hey everybody, it's Chuck Barone. It's Monday, September 11th, 2023. A very sad anniversary, September the 11th. Can you believe it's already been 22 years ago? Wow, man. Time goes by so fast, and the country has changed so much since that day. It's a day that we probably should pay more attention to. But because we're all living busy lives and doing what we do every day, we kind of forget about the lessons we should have taken from 9/11. And sometimes I'm afraid that because we haven't taken those lessons, we're devolving into exactly what the enemy hoped we would be. If you think about it, bin Laden wanted to divide this country, wanted to create turmoil, have us spend ourselves to death. I wouldn't give him all the credit for it, but it's certainly the situation we find ourselves in today. Anyway, before I get ranting and raving, let me take a second to welcome everybody to the show. It's good to be back after missing a couple of days last week. It's always good to have you people here with us. We appreciate your support every day, coming watching these videos, your comments and questions, and all the stuff you guys do every day, man. It keeps us going here. We appreciate it. All right, so let's look at today's markets. Not really much happening today in the markets in my mind. Everybody waiting on data. We got a big week of data coming. We're going to get CPI, we're going to get PPI, new unemployment numbers, consumer data, and a whole bunch of important stuff. Markets kind of holding their breath. No data coming today. Really, tomorrow will be another quiet day. Then Wednesday starts the fun. So today's markets, like I said, not much happening. Markets up. The Dow up 87 points. The S&P up 29 points, sitting at 4487. The NASDAQ up 156 points, 13,917. So stocks up, but not by much, and no real moves to talk about as far as why the markets. I think they're kind of hoping that the numbers are going to go this way, and the way they're projected, they may. We'll see. Bond market today, yields up a little bit, just another not much day again. 10-year up 3 basis points, 4.29%. The 2-year up just 1 basis point, sitting at 4.995%. So basically just at 5%, just under. And yield spread narrowing, about 70 basis points now. And the bond market on big nothing burger today. The dollar today down 0.5 point on the index, 104.56 on the dollar index. Was over 105. Dollar still strong, guys. Watch out for that. The gold and silver prices. If you're looking to buy, especially silver, you're going to see some dips here as if the dollar continues to strengthen, might be your opportunity. Metals today, and with the dollar coming down a little, had an up day, but not a very big up day, up small, with gold rallying $3.10, sitting at $1,921.80 for an ounce of gold. Silver up 14 cents, sitting at $23.05 for an ounce of silver. I think that's a bargain, guys. Buy silver. Oil today, down very small, down 18 cents a barrel, $87.33 for West Texas Intermediate. This is a big week. We got a lot of oil data coming tomorrow, starting, I think, and we'll see how this oil market holds up. We might be revising what we're thinking as far as where oil's headed. Bitcoin today continuing down $711, sitting at 25,105. Looks like that's where the support's going to be at 25,000. If it breaks down below that, well, we'll see. I have to look at some charts on Bitcoin here. This looks like this slump is going to continue a little bit. Okay, so like we do every week, on Monday, we're going to give you guys the news you need, the data coming this week. Today, just earnings starting up. I haven't really seen much come across the wire yet. Tomorrow, we'll just get short selling news. Short sellers have been getting their asses handed to them. Not recently, but a lot of the big market rally was short sellers covering short positions. So we'll see where they're sitting. On Wednesday, we'll start the party up. Wednesday, we'll get our CPI numbers. Now, what they're expecting, well, this is not good news, guys, okay? In July, they had a top line rate of 3.2%. with core at 3.6. No, that can't be right. Core 3.6, that's not right. Core was sitting at 4.7%, forgive me. So you had top line at 3.2, core at 4.7. The data expected to come in on Wednesday will show the top line rising to 3.6%, with the core rate coming down to 4.3%. The market's going to try to find a way to make that positive. I'm guessing they'll point to the core numbers coming down, and they'll discount food and energy. But the bottom line is this will be the second consecutive month that top line inflation's ticking up. So you had it at 3 in June, 3.2 July, 3.6 August. Guys, it's moving the wrong direction. So you still have hot employment, you still have the economy chugging along, you still got consumer spending who knows what. Now you're going to add to these rising prices, and with core coming down, well, we'll see, guys. I mean, I guess they're going to blame it on the spike in oil. They're going to have their reasons. But the bottom line is if these numbers come out the way they are, not good news. Not good news. On Thursday, now Thursday is going to be the busy day. We'll get business inventories. We'll get jobless claims, which came in at 216 last week. They're expecting 220,000 this week. We'll get PPI numbers, which are expected to be up about 3.6 year over year. So PPI will be pretty close to where it was last year. That's what they're expecting. And we'll also get retail sales on Thursday. So Thursday is going to be the big day. CPI, of course, will lead the parade. That'll be the noisiest one. What'll be interesting for me will be the PPI numbers, because that gives us the foreshadowing, guys. And it's been doing it. The PPI numbers have been foreshadowing future CPI numbers. I'm going to guess they're going to continue to do that. So that's going to be the one I'll be looking forward to. And then on Friday, it'll finish the week up. It won't be much of a data day on Friday. We'll just get import prices. We'll see import prices rising pretty significantly. So it's going to be a busy week, man. These inflation numbers, I am not a fan of inflation going back up. And I'm sure the Fed is not either. Now, I'm going to talk a little more about that later in the show. So let's just say, but instead of going into any specific stories today, I just want to talk about basically the state of the world we're living in. Okay? The stuff that's important to us, right? So let's have a look at how things are really going in this country. So let's look at the economy first. Now the statistics will tell us the economy is growing actually third quarter growth going pretty good. We've had solid growth in the first and second quarters. Again, these are government numbers, and I know a lot of you guys are skeptical of those numbers, but they're the only numbers we get, guys. So the economy seems to be chugging along. Employment surprisingly strong, considering that the Fed has done everything they can do over the last 18 or 20 something months to slow hiring down, to slow business down. It really hasn't had the effect the Fed's hoping for, but they really weren't minding so much because the inflation numbers were moving the way they wanted them to. Well, I've been telling you guys, interest rates, the Fed raising interest rates doesn't do anything for inflation. It doesn't lower prices, okay? What it does is, typically, it causes a recession. The recession then slows demand, builds inventories, which then causes sales and sale prices, bringing inflation down, right? Now the Fed, with all this talk of soft landing, last year we were all in full recession mode. Remember, guys? We had two negative quarters in a row of GDP. We all believed the recession was here because the inflation was just starting to bite. In real estate, like I'm in, man, it felt like depression more than a recession. People were freaking out, pissed off at me, storming out of my office at 5%. You can imagine where they're at now at 7%. So the state of the economy, they want us to believe it's going really well, it's going good, but the mood doesn't seem to reflect that. Usually when times are good, people's moods are good. It doesn't seem like people's moods are good to you, because it doesn't seem to me. Now, most people will look at their personal finances and say their personal finances are doing well. They just don't believe that the overall economy in general is doing well, which is a strange paradox there, right? And so there you have the state of the economy right now. In my opinion, the economy we're probably not in a recession yet. But I really don't believe the Fed's going to be able to pull off getting inflation down to 2% without one. We're already seeing rates now, inflation rates, starting to come back higher, even in the face of going from 0 to almost 5.5. So I don't really believe that these interest rate cuts or hikes are finished. I don't believe, I'm not seeing interest rate cuts anywhere coming up soon. So it's going to be fascinating to see how these numbers come this week and where that leads the analysts to go. Now, the Federal Reserve and rates, I think, rates are high right now, especially when compared to where they've been and where we've gotten used to them being over the last, say, decade or so. But I'm telling you, rates are going higher. I'm telling you, there's going to be a recession. I don't buy this soft landing scenario. You guys have heard me describe it many, many times. When you hear the word soft landing, picture the Hindenburg coming in for a landing, okay? Because that's what those soft landings always turn into. It's going to be, now you got inflation moving back up. It's going to be impossible for the Fed to sit tight on rates. What are they going to do? Oh, pray? I mean, what are they going to do? They only have one tool in the toolbox, which is rates. They've been pulling money out of circulation like crazy. That's not working. Rates at 5.35% from basically zero worked for a little bit, not anymore. And now I think the market's starting to handicap that they were done hiking rates. And guess what? Doesn't look like they are. Now I think the Federal Reserve, being the kind of people they are really reluctant to raise rates and cause this recession because they know they're going to have everybody screaming bloody murder at them. But they're going to do what they got to do to get inflation rates down to 2%. And I'm telling you, in my humble opinion, recession coming. Don't know when. We'll keep an eye out for it. We'll let you guys know when we're seeing it. But the numbers right now don't reflect a recession. We're not actually in a recession, even though it kind of feels like we are. And we'll keep you guys posted on where that goes. And I'm sticking to my guns. I still think Fed's raising rates this month, even though the entire market's against me on it. Why on earth would they wait to raise rates when they got inflation numbers going higher? We'll see. Politics, man. The state of the politics in this country is as broken as I've ever seen it, and I'm old. I saw the Watergate era, I saw the 60s, I saw the crazy-ass 70s, I saw the Reagan Revolution, I saw Clinton, I saw Bush, I saw 9/11, I saw a lot of stuff, guys. Never, ever, ever have I seen our system as broken as it is today, where nobody wants to come to a set of facts. Both teams believe their own fantasies, and neither team wants to reckon with reality, man. And I'm not talking about the voters. The voters do what they're directed to do by their fearless leaders, right? But pay attention to this stuff, guys. I mean, big doings on both sides. They both have their agendas. And in my humble opinion, sorry for saying it, neither one of their agendas is good for me. So as you guys know, I'm an equal opportunity hater. Hate the red team, hate the blue team. Two sides of the same coin, if you ask me. Birds of a feather, whatever the word, however you want to phrase it. They play these games to distract us, to keep us divided. At the same time, they're robbing us blind, guys. Hopefully that's going to be something that ends soon. Now you got consumers. What's going to happen with consumers, man? Record levels of debt are what's going to happen to consumers. And record levels of debt always lead to record numbers of bankruptcies. So hopefully you're listening to us. You're not taking on new debt and you're paying down the debt you have. Markets, well, markets are going to rally for a little bit. I think that the stock market, as long as companies are earning, markets are going to rally. Markets have shrugged off rate hikes so far. Bond market having a seizure, but the stock market toughing it out, man. So we'll see where that continues to go, but I got to believe there's going to be some kind of correction coming in this stock market sooner or later. And gold and silver, our friends, gold and silver. I tell you guys, buy gold and silver. Don't invest every penny of your investable money in gold and silver. 15%, 10% of your portfolio, something like that is good. You'll be glad you had that. It's like a safety nest, right? It's like a safety net underneath you. It's like a comfortable blanket to keep you warm at night in case the state of all this stuff just goes to hell, which it very well could. Because when you add up all of this stuff right now, the economy shaky, the Federal Reserve having no direction, rates continuing to rocket, our politics broke, our consumers even broker, markets rudderless, reacting to debt every day. The answer is gold and silver. And staying on this show so we can kind of direct you guys to where things are going, man, because they are rough right now, guys. And last but not least, before I sign off, the video is already running long, but I just want to tell you guys about an incident happening here in Vegas. MGM resorts and casinos shut down. Every resort, MGM, nationwide, shut down by a cyber attack. People can't, nothing in the hotels is working. Front desk can't check people in or out. People can't even get into their rooms because the keys are all electronic. Everything going crazy at MGM Grand. I'll bring more news on that story tomorrow. That's it for the day, guys. I already ran a lot longer than I wanted to. Appreciate your guys' support. We'll be back tomorrow to bring you guys the news you need. Until then, guys, don't forget, Buffalo Bills tonight, Monday Night Football season opener. Go Bills. See you tomorrow.